नमस्ते फ्रेंड, आप सभी का एक बार फिर से वेलकम। और फ्रेंड्स, श्री भटेजा सर, एक्स सर्विस एक्स बैंकर हमारे, जो नियमित रूप से बैंक पेंशनर की ग्रीवांसेस का ध्यान अपने ईओबीयू के लीडर्स को, डीएफएस को, आईबीए को लिखते रहते हैं। उन्होंने एक पद द सेक्रेटरी फिनांस डीएफएस को, चेयरमैन आईबीए को, एमडी एंड सीईओ ऑल नेशनलाइज्ड बैंक को और यूबी कॉन्स्टेंट्स को लिखा। डियर सर्स, अनलॉफुल, रॉन्ग एंड फाइनेंशियली हार्मिंग डिसीजंस taken by IBA and UOB which are out of their purview. I have already requested all above organizations regarding resolving the long pending legitimate grievances of all retirees to you all individually, but neither I could hear anything nor even received acknowledgement from any of above. I have now again attempted to bring you all on one platform to express my anguish so as to mitigate all confusions in respect of our judicious demands to ensure implementation of every regulation of bank employees pension regulation 95 in true letter and spirit. First, Honorable Minister of Finance has replied in Parliament many times to questions by members of Parliament that there is no provision of pension updation in BEPR 95. It was also said that if some proposal comes from IBA, it will be considered. Thus, DFS has thrown the ball in the court of IBA. Second, now IBA's method of denial is different. They always take the plea of cost calculation from the last 20 years, but that calculation is still incomplete and taking extraordinary time even in these days of computerization, mechanization, and could not be accomplished till date. However, this information can be obtained from the computers within seconds in just one click. In this regard, we have clarified earlier also that our demand of pension updation has no connection with cost of updation because of the fact that there are adequate funds in pension fund trust accounts of banks to pay out extra expenditure due to updation of pension from even the interest income earned on investment of these pension trust funds. Anyway, as per rules, if banks find some shortage of funds, the regulation number 11 of the BEPR 95 put this responsibility on banks. They should refer this regulation, which provides for complete solution to maintain sufficient funds in pension trust accounts. The banks are required to get the pension trust fund accounts audited every year and make provisions of extra funds if needed, though not required. It is pertinent to mention here that there is no representation of retirees in the board of pension fund trust accounts of banks. In the absence of any such retiree representation, the factual position in respect of fraudulent transactions in these accounts cannot be ascertained by the retiree. The IB has mentioned in their affidavit dated 24th August 22, submitted in Honorable Supreme Court case in case MC Singla and others versus Union of India, is reproduced here below, that there is no provision in pension regulation 95 for any updation in pension of bank employees and officers, that therefore it would neither be appropriate in principle nor would be financially viable for the banks to accept the representation claim of the employees for updation of pension at par with central government employees, particularly when there is no parity between the two sets of employees, that is the central government employees and the bank employees, inter alia, for the reasons that the pension in the banks is paid out of pension fund trust accounts created out of the bank's contribution to the PF, whereas in respect of central government employee, the pension is paid not out of pension fund but it is treated as revenue expenditure and paid out budgetary allocations. अरे पानी बंद. In the course of negotiation on service conditions of the workmen employees, in February 90, the Indian Bank Association agreed to introduce pension scheme in banks for the workmen employees in lieu of employers' contribution to the provident fund. The pension scheme agreed was to be broadly on central government. The Reserve Bank of India pattern details of the scheme were to be worked out. To find the veracity of these two para of the affidavit of IBA, we will have to refer regulation number 12 of the Memorandum of Settlement 1993, which read as under. The para 4.2 of the minutes dated 26 March 94 of a small committee are as below. Formula for updating should be one, same lines as given in the Reserve Bank pension scheme. Any change therein should be introduced only after the mutual agreement. Now the regulation 35, one of the pension regulation 95, be referred, which reads as under. In respect of employees who retired between 1st day of January 86 but before 31st day of October 87, basic pension and the additional pension will be updated as per formula given in Appendix 1. This letter was amended on 25th January 2002 as below. Basic pension and additional pension, wherever applicable, shall be updated as per the formula given in Appendix 1. The above regulation speaks loudly that the pension will be updated now the every wage revision. Otherwise, what is purpose of its existence of this regulation in BAPR 95? In this regulation does not provide for pension updation with every wage revision, then what for the regulation was introduced by way of amendment? Anyway, the solution of the doubt rests in regulation number 56 of the regulation 95 as residuary provisions, which leads as under. If all above references are read in chronological order and BFR 95 is read in occasion, association with Memorandum of Settlement 93, there remains no doubt that there is a provision of pension updation even in this BFR 95. Let us now come on other issues where you all jointly have signed and looted the bank pensioners. An unwanted parity in DA was created in 2000 by giving 1616 point of DA instead of 1684, which was corrected through Supreme Court. Second, 100% DA was introduced in 8 BPS with effect from 1st November 2002, but the employees retired between November 2 to 30th November 2005 were denied years of this period. Third, another parity was created by non-merging DA points of 8088 points for pre-2022 retirees. CPI index was not changed from 1960 to 2016. The pre-2002 retirees were also given tapered DA, which was settled from 1st October 23, but they were denied arrears for 21 years. This amount was not considered for computing ex gratia. Ex gratia was given to pensioner while there is no provision in BAPR 95. It seems as if there is conspiracy to replace pension updation by ex gratia. In 10th BPS, a special allowance was introduced with the only intention to reduce the pension, which was again increased in 11th and 12th bipartite, which is in violation of BAPR 95. In gross violation of orders of DFS dated 24th February 12, as per recommendation of Khandelwal Committee, 25% of the staff welfare fund of retiree is being diverted to working employees since 2015, and the full amount of insurance premium of IBA group medical insurance policy is illegally recovered from retirees till date, which needs to be refunded back to retirees. In every wage revision, funds allotted are for wage revision include expenses on superannuation benefit also, that is for gratuity and pensioner. But since the inception of BPS, the share of pensioners has been diverted to wages revision. The working employee unions have no legal right to cross their limitation of BPS. Retired employees are neither their members nor given them any mandate to discuss and settle pensioners' issue with anyone. Banks should immediately withdraw their mandate given to IBA, if any, to discuss the issue of pensioners, because it is absolutely unjustified and unfair to resolve our issue with the powers vested in them through Section 19 of the Banking Companies Act 1970/80. Now, it is challenged to all the above mentioned organizations either to prove the above statements untrue or bring the pensioners' issues out of the purview of UBU, because they are working against the rules governing the retired employees so as to resolve all the retirees' legitimate issue at the earliest. The banks and the Ministry of Finance is earnestly requested to give due attention to above irregularities and unlawful acts of IBA and UBU unions, and envisages a separate system to resolve the pensioners' issue. An early action on all above legitimate demands is highly solicited. We hope that the burning issues of aggrieved retirees pensioners will get due attention of all the above parties, and to give reply for 7 lakhs pensioner to receive reply is my legitimate and democratic right from the opposite parties after taking this in their joint decision for redressal of our grievances. Please be informed that our Honorable Supreme Court has commented on the government that being a welfare government, they should avoid litigation with their employees and must have sense of humanity. कोई आपसे मिलने आए या ना आए, आपके कर्म आपसे मिलने अवश्य आएंगे. Regards, Mr. Bhateja, R.K. Bhateja, pensioner, erstwhile SBBJ, 3rd November 25. Thank you friends. Namaste.